Remove your perfume, tie your hair, or they will come after you.
Wow.
I mean, what a warning to get before you walk into a historical monument.
That is quite the greeting, but that's the standard one at the Jamali Kamali tomb in Delhi.
It is. And for our deep dive today, we're looking at this amazing piece from the Times of India that features a historian, Eric Chopra.
Right, he wrote a book called Ghosted, Delhi's Haunted Monuments.
And what I love about this is we're not just, telling a simple ghost story.
No, not at all.
We're looking at where history ends and folklore begins. Because you have this real archaeological site right in the Morali Park, and it's become ground zero for djinn sightings.
And supernatural slaps, apparently.
Exact.
And the rules of the haunting, they're so specific. The local fuwalas, the flower sellers, they're the ones who tell you.
Don't smell good.
Right, don't smell good near the tomb.
And that's because djinns are drawn to scent.
That's the lore. And for anyone who doesn't know, djinns in Islamic mythology, they aren't ghosts of dead people.
They're different beings entirely.
Exactly. They're beings made from smokeless fire. They sort of live in a parallel world but can interact with ours.
And here the interaction is a slap. If you wear perfume or your hair is down, a djinn might just hit you.
Which is a pretty effective deterrent, I have to say.
For sure. But if you can get past that, the actual history of who is buried there is just as fascinating.
It is. So we know who Jamali was. That part is clear.
Sheikh Fazlullah, a Sufi saint, a famous poet. He died around 1536. He was, a big deal, had a wife, kids.
He was basically a celebrity of the late Lodi and early Mughal periods. But then you have Kamali.
Ooh, mystery.
A total blank slate. There's just historical silence, no records, no biography, nothing.
But people started to speculate.
Of course. For a long time, the main theory was that Kamali was a woman, maybe a secret lover, maybe a wife buried with him.
But the tomb itself seems to argue against that.
It does, and this is the key detail. Kamali's grave has a carving of a pen box on it, a qalamdan.
Which means
In Mughal architecture, that symbol was used exclusively on the tombs of men. So, archaeologically, you're looking at two men.
buried side by side, in a tomb clearly designed for intimacy.
Precisely. And that physical evidence has, really resonated with the modern LGBTQIA plus community.
I could see why. It becomes a different kind of story.
It does. When you see two male graves positioned like that, it opens up this space for interpretation. A possible queer history preserved right there in stone. It sort of challenges the default assumptions we make about the past.
It's like a love story hiding inside a ghost story.
Well said.
Which brings us back to the historian, Eric Chopra. He manages to get into the tomb one evening when it's usually locked up.
Right, and the guard says something really odd to him.
Ask him the question.
Ask him, can you smell the agarbatis, the incense?
And the guard says he smells it every single night, even though no one's there to light it.
So now you're primed for a scare. This is the moment the jump scare happens in the movie.
Totally. But that's not what Eric felt inside. It wasn't horrific at all.
No. He described moonlight just pouring in, making the graves seem like they were glowing softly.
And the silence wasn't scary.
It was peaceful. And this is the insight from the whole article, I think. He realized he wasn't afraid of being attacked by some djinn. He felt like an intruder.
Like he walked in on something private.
Yeah.
A moment between two people.
Exactly. He said his heart felt full of love, not fear. It just completely flips the script on the whole haunted narrative.
So the fear, the djinns, the slapping.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just our way of trying to understand a history that's been lost to us.
Or a way to keep people out of a space that feels deeply personal, even centuries later.
And just for the record, Eric confirmed he did not get slapped.
He made it out safely.
It really forces you to ask the question, When we visit these ancient places, are we actually sensing something supernatural?
Or are we just projecting our own anxieties onto the silence? Maybe the ghosts are just the parts of history we haven't figured out how to talk about yet.
It's something to think about next time you're exploring some old ruins.
Yeah.
But maybe skip it with the perfume, just in case. Thanks for listening.